Hello, in this video we are going to talk about Capricorn and what may happen to these people born under that sign in 2020 according to some very important transits of various planets around the zodiac and their repercussions onto that sign. So let's discover what 2020 has in store for Capricorn born people. I can tell you already that the first half of the year is going to be much easier to deal with than the second half, as we will find out in this video. Capricorn is number 10 around the zodiac. The first sign is Aries, and number 10 is Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign. Aries is a fire sign. Now, what is going to occur in 2020 is essentially linked to the transits of 3 major planets, plus 1 at some time early in 2020. First of all, we need to assess the situation beginning early in 2020. And it is a situation that has been affecting and influencing and also helping Capricorn people to deal with the realities of life and perhaps change in a very positive way what they need or wanted to change since perhaps since the entry of Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn is here in Capricorn. It's here since the 21st of December 2017. And you see next to Saturn is Pluto, representing whatever needs to be questioned, what needs to be somehow destroyed in order to build on the ashes of what has been burned or destroyed. Now, the conjunction between Saturn and Pluto is very active in 2019. We are today the 4th of September 2019. And the influence of Saturn and Pluto together is going to be very strong in 2020. It is linked, as you can see, with blue lines. It's linked with Neptune, which is in its sign of rulership, as we say in astrology, in Pisces, and it is also linked with Uranus, representing changes. And here we have creativity, we have intuition, inspiration, and anything that you can obtain from the feelings that you have of whatever is happening around you in your life. Now, this position here concerns you directly because you were born under that sign, Capricorn. It is because the sun is and was aligned with that sign when you were born, the earth being at the center of the system. So looking towards the sun, Capricorn was aligned with it, and we therefore say that you were born under that sign, Capricorn. It is also your sun sign. So anyway, what happens there is very important, because if you have been able in 2019 or perhaps also in 2018 to accept what needed to be lost in order to earn more, to get more out of life, then you will be very successful in 2020. And the reason is that Jupiter will enter in Capricorn on the 3rd of December 2019. So this year, at the end of this year, Jupiter transits in Capricorn. And it will last, that transit will last until the 20th of December 2020. So it is going to last just a bit more than a year. But during that transit, Jupiter is going to meet with Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. And it is going to, of course, also create a beneficial link with Uranus here, with Neptune in Pisces. So that great triangle here is going to serve you. It is going to serve you as far as what you want to progress, how you want to progress in life, what you want to achieve, the top that you want to reach as well. You will need a fair bit of intellectual work represented by this sign Pisces here, which actually works as an inspirational tool. So if you're inspired, if you have the right intuition, and if you follow your intuition and you follow your heart and your soul, then it is very likely that this triple conjunction, which is, by the way, something very rare, that conjunction here in Capricorn has not occurred for maybe more than 2,000 years. I went back as far as year 13 of our era, and I couldn't find it. So after that, I didn't have the ephemerides to go further down. So it is very, very rare. And as such, of course, it is very, very important. And the fact that Jupiter represents expansion, evolution, progress, and success, and because it is going to put its influence, its good energy to work for you in your sign, so it's going to enhance your personal energy, your willpower, your ability to get concrete results from what you do in life, then of course Jupiter will play a major role throughout the year to help you adapt and achieve what you want to achieve. I think that 2020 may be one of the greatest years that you've ever experienced before since you were born. So it is a very important year, of course. And that will be thanks to the three here, this one here, Neptune and Uranus. All together, those planets are going to be very friendly to you, and they will probably get their energies together to give you the best mix of energy, so that you can actually really achieve and succeed in what you are expecting to get in life, or anything that is very important to you will certainly be favored during that, at least during the first half of the year, as I've mentioned earlier. If the slow planets have a strong and profound influence in one's life, it is because they remain a long time around the same position around the zodiac. And for that reason, their energy is, of course, getting deeper into the person's vital process, and especially when it's, of course, directed towards the sign of the person. Because as I said earlier, if you were born here in that sign, or if you were born with a Capricorn sign, zodiac sign, it's because the sun is in that sign, and the sun is your vital energy. It is your physical energy with, of course, its influence on the psychological behavior that you may have. If you feel well, you act well, and you are well within your mind. If you don't feel well, of course, it is a different story. But I think that thanks to those three planets, Jupiter takes 12 years to travel around the zodiac. Saturn takes 29 and a half years to do the same job. And now Saturn is your planet, because Saturn represents the sign Capricorn. So since it is in Capricorn, and so since the 21st of December 2017, as I said earlier, then of course, you feel a lot more motivated in a very concrete way to obtain as many results and also very concrete results with long-lasting repercussions in your life. And what you are going to get in 2020 will must certainly have very long-lasting repercussions, perhaps repercussions until the next occurrence of that transit in Capricorn, transit of Saturn, in about 27 so years after it does get into Aquarius. So anyway, Mars is having an important influence as well, but Mars is what we call a fast planet. Mars takes 2 years to travel around the zodiac. So compared to Jupiter, 12 years, Saturn, 29.5 years, Pluto, 248 years, and 165 for Neptune, 84 for Uranus, Mars is a very fast planet. It only takes twice as the Earth a time to travel around the zodiac, 2 years. So beginning early in 2020, on the 4th of January until the 17th of February, Mars will transit in Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius precedes your sign, and because of that, it represents the past. So it is most probably a period of time during which you will probably meet someone that you haven't seen for a long time, or have to go back on in the past because you will need a document or anything that is important, of course, because that sign, Sagittarius, is also representing the period of your life during which you prepare something that you are going to achieve when Mars transits your sign. And that's going to be, of course, that's going to happen from the 17th of February onwards. So that period of time, the first 6 weeks or so of 2020, is of course a period of time during which, if you prepare well what you need to do after that, then you will get very nice results for sure. So then Mars will transit in Capricorn, in your sign. And of course in Capricorn you can see that Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto are still around. Mars will transit until the 31st of March. But on the 23rd of March, Saturn is going to change sign to travel in Aquarius. And Mars will meet with Saturn very quickly after it enters into Aquarius itself, and that will occur during the first, say, 2 weeks of April. We'll talk about it later. But while Mars is in your sign, it will make it much more accessible for you to act and react. Whatever you need to do, if you have to make important decisions during that period of time, you should be very efficient at doing so. And of course, if you need to get involved in a partnership or at work in a new job, if you are aiming at some very important goal and that you have to make a move, then during that period of time, you will most probably be able to do so in a very efficient way, which will have, of course, interesting and very remarkable repercussions later on during the year, and perhaps also later on during next year and the year after and so on. Because Saturn represents time, and Jupiter represents evolution, expansion and success, and Pluto represents regeneration. So the process of regeneration has had a very strong influence on you since Pluto is in Capricorn, which is since 2008, 2009. Now, the process of regeneration has forced you to look at your life in another way, in a different way, in a perhaps totally different way. Maybe somehow you died to be born again somehow. And that new birth has of course given rise to new needs and new objectives in life, new activities, new directions, and so on. And since Saturn is in Capricorn, which is of course much more recent than Pluto, because it started on the 21st of December 2017, then Saturn and Pluto getting together, joining together their energies, means that by the time you have accepted the fact that you were going to get involved in that rebirth somehow, then you can start building. And I'm pretty sure that it is the feeling and the energy and the motivation that you've had since around 2018. So 2018, 2019, two important years as far as taking into consideration what had to be somehow destroyed again in order to start really building for a long time to come something that will be very important and very solid, very durable. And Jupiter, of course, is helping you, and it will help you from the 3rd of December this year, 2019, and for about 1 year, Jupiter will be there to sort of somehow give you the enthusiasm and the optimism and the goal, the desire and the open mind also that you will probably need to get acquainted with various changes that will have to be made in your life in order to improve it. So it is really that period of time when Mars is going to join with those three planets, when you will probably be able to make the most important decisions in your life. And that will have, as I said earlier, very interesting and long-lasting repercussions. And then from the 31st of March until the 15th of May, Mars will transit in Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is the sign that follows your sign. And as such, it represents your attitude and the way you are doing things as far as the material side of your life is concerned, finances and so on. So when Mars transits in Aquarius, Saturn will be there since the 23rd of March, as I've said earlier. And the conjunction between the two may make it a little bit difficult for you to make a decision to move forward, perhaps to buy something, or to spend, or to invest, and perhaps also to just hold on and do it later on. If you're in doubt, my advice would be for you not to do anything until you are sure and that you have the guarantee that what you are getting involved in is not going to be a mistake that will cost you more than what you think or hope it is going to earn you. So take it easy during that period of time, especially during the first 2 weeks of April. But then afterwards, when Mars continues to transit in that sign Aquarius, the eagerness to spend may be felt. And because it is represented by Uranus, which represents that sign Capricorn, and because Uranus is here in Taurus, which is also an earth sign, therefore it is linked to the material realities of life, perhaps during that period of time you may spend a bit more money than you should, and it will have some unnerving effect, and you may feel at times that you are maybe unlucky, or that you are too spontaneous, too generous, or perhaps also too impulsive at dealing with money in general. So try to take it easy, lay back, relax, and wait for your turn instead of rushing to what you want to get, even though you may feel that this is an opportunity not to be missed. Just, slow down during that period of time, and I can assure you that you won't regret it. Then Mars will transit in Pisces, where Neptune is. So when Mars gets around the position of Neptune, between the 15th of May and the 29th of June, you will probably derive quite good inspiration from Neptune to decide on the spur of a moment, or because you will feel that it is the right moment, the right thing to do, the right thing to say, the right place to go to, the right person to meet with and to talk to. Then, during that period of time, anything that depends on your intellectual capacity and communication capacity as well will be enhanced, and you will feel much stronger to say what you need to say, to express yourself, and to show some creativity as well that will most probably have a nice, good effect in your life in general. In your personal life, which is represented by your sign, and also in your sentimental life, which is represented by this sign, Taurus, where Uranus is, and also in that area of the zodiac that represents anything to do or anything that depends on your intellect and intellectual capacity, so on your knowledge and so on. So during that period of time, if you plan to travel, for example, for pleasure or to study something, then it will be a great time to go forward, to move forward, and to go ahead with the project. Because after that, from the 29th of June onwards, it's going to become a little bit more complicated all around. When Mars transits in Aries, because Aries is Mars's sign, the influence of Mars will be very strong. But as we've seen earlier, for the other signs, when Mars transited in Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, it remained in the signs for about 6 weeks. Now, in Aries, the transit is going to last for 6 months. It will end on the 7th of January 2021. 6 months is a long time. It's half a year. And during that time, Mars, you see, I've drawn a red line here between that sign and this one, because your sign, Capricorn, is an earth sign, and Aries is a fire sign. And as you may know, fire and earth don't mix together very easily. You can try and put some dirt or earth on fire, and you'll see the result that you get. So because these two signs are not compatible elements-wise, I'm not saying that a Capricorn cannot live with an Aries people, a person, of course, but on an element basis, there is incompatibility. And when Mars transits in Aries, things are going to get more complicated worldwide, actually. And during the 6 months, you will have to make sure that you are not reacting too strongly, too rapidly, too impulsively, or even too aggressively to what you feel is wrong in your life, or what you feel is wrong in someone else's life, for that matter. Now, this area here in the zodiac, compared to your sign, represents anything to do with family affairs and surroundings. So it has to do with your place of residence, with people around you in your family and so on. So there could be some tension to adjust to. You have to adjust to that tension. Otherwise, conflicts and difficulties may arise as well. Now, because the Sun is in Capricorn in your chart, in your birth chart, because you were born under that sign Capricorn, the Sun represents also your physical energy. And while Mars is in Aries, that physical energy is going to be attacked on a daily basis. And you may feel at times very strong, very motivated, but at other times very tired. And you will have to make sure that you don't act or react too quickly, that you don't make any too many strong efforts, that you don't do things that you cannot bear physically or even psychologically. So, because Mars is the god of war, it is probably a period of time during which you will tend too easily to go to war, symbolically or in reality, if you're in the army, for example. And during that period of time, you'll be much more subject to difficulties that will arise from the other persons in your life or even from your own actions. An accident can happen very quickly, as you know. So 6 months is a long time. I cannot explain precisely and month by month what may occur during that period of time. If you want to know more about it, I will have to do it according to your birth chart, because in your birth chart I will not just take into consideration your sun sign Capricorn, but also the other elements in your chart, the moon, Mercury and so on, and all the houses as we call them, from your rising sign or ascendant right around the chart. And that will help me assess the way in which Mars is going to affect your life month per month during the 6 months. So if you need more information, don't hesitate to visit my website and request a complete forecast, and I will be very happy to help you in any way I can with astrology. To end my videos in general, I like to talk about Venus, especially the transit of Venus in one's sign. But unfortunately, in 2020, Venus will not transit in Capricorn. The transit in Capricorn will begin early in 2021. Venus will start a transit in Aquarius on the 21st of December 2019. So it's not going to go through Capricorn at all in 2020. But when Venus reaches this position here of Neptune, and when it reaches the position of Uranus, it will enhance for a short time perhaps, but good enough to make the opportunity or to benefit from the opportunity that Venus may represent. It can represent an enhancement of your lack factor, or anything that is nice in your personality will be felt much more by people around you. So take note of those dates. Now, Venus will transit in Pisces from the 14th of January until the 8th of February. 14th of January, 8th of February. And it is most probably around the 25th of January, that Venus and Neptune are going to be in conjunction, and that conjunction will create a beneficial link with your sign and with Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto, because they will be in that sign then, and that will make you much more sensitive, creative, and nice, actually. You will feel that life is nicer with you for a little while, but it's always good to take. And then the other occurrence of a good transit of Venus will be when the planet transits in Taurus from the 6th of March until the 4th of April. But it's more likely around the 6th of March that it is going to be the strongest. So between the 6th of March, say, and the 15th of March, then luck will strike again. And you should, be prepared and take note of these dates in your diary in order to really do something that will be for you a source of satisfaction, because this is the 5th area, the 5th sign from yours, which is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and the 5th sign is linked to anything to do with the good things of life, luck, holidays, creativity, the arts, love as well. So, this period of time can be very interesting and very nice for you. So, do the best you can in order to take advantage of the beneficial, lovely influence of Venus in your life. And that may have very, 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 very long-lasting repercussions, not just for a few days or a few weeks, but perhaps much longer. Thank you very much for watching this video. I wish you a very happy 2020, very prosperous, very successful. You have the potential to make it a very great year, at least during the first half of the year, as we've seen in this video. Be careful during the second half, and if you are careful, if you can control your personal energy and the energy around you, then of course after, when Mars transits in Taurus in 2021, early in 2021, it will create a very nice configuration, a link which is very beneficial with your sign, and then you will reap the rewards of what you have put your so much effort into to avoid any problems during the 6 months of the transit of Mars in Aries. So once again, if you need more information or a complete forecast according to your chart and not just according to your sun sign, don't hesitate, visit my website, and I will be once again very, very happy and honored to help you in any way I can. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.